All right, guys. So, uh, got this package in today for TOPTUL. I've been looking at doing these, possibly selling these products. They are a Taiwan-based company. They actually make some tools for Matco and other people. So we got this little 3/8 drive, 22 millimeter. Use these for lug nuts on vehicles. So we'll take a look at that. And we also have the wrench. 17 millimeter is, they use this a lot at the dealership, so that's a really super nice looking wrench. It's very smooth. It's not slippery, but it's very, very smooth. Looks like it's pretty well built. I like the angle of that box end like that, to get in those areas that the head is just barely, fastener is barely getting on there, and you can really get a better bite on it. I like that. It's fairly thick, not too thick. We're going to compare that with I believe I'm going to have to do it with a Matco 17. Let's take a look. All right, so we're going to look at this 17 millimeter from TOPTUL, and we're going to compare that to, I have a Cobalt. I'm not really sure. I don't think this is American made, but this is one of the older Cobalts. You know, then we've got an American-made Matco. This is probably not a fair comparison because this was actually made in 1988 by Bonnie Tools. Then we got the TOPTUL. Then we have a Mac Precision Torque with the ratcheting rear, but kind of sort of resembles each other somehow. That's kind of neat. Then we got a Craftsman 15 American-made, forged in the USA. This is probably, I don't know, 15, 20 years old or something. And then we got another favorite of mine is Tecton. Of course, this is a short, stubby, well used, well loved, damn good wrench. Love Tecton with a passion. But so I'm, looking at maybe selling these. I don't know. Let's get to it. All right. So here's a TOPTUL, and I will be honest with you, it's the finish is super nice. I mean, it's very silky, very smooth, satin finish. It's not rough like some of the satin finishes are. It's actually pretty smooth. And like I said, it's got a really nice, what is that? The flank drive action. I don't want to call it flank drive, snap-on thing, but you know what I mean. It's got a good little drive there. I like the end. It's not real thick, but it's not real thin and cheap. It's actually pretty good. The advertising that I got, TOPTUL is one of those tool companies that they're everywhere, but in the United States. It's they're pretty much all over the European area. I can only, from my information I've been gathering, it's kind of sort of like they're like a Mac tool or something of that nature quality in the European theater. A lot of people use that in the Asian area. TOPTUL is probably one of the bigger tool companies in that area. Let's take a look at this Cobalt, and it's got that spline drive. I've used these once or twice. They're not bad. They're pretty good. Really can't complain about it. I don't think they're American made, but whatever. It's a little bit shorter. This is their standard size, but compared to this, it's quite a bit shorter. I don't believe TOPTUL has a longer version of the Super Torque, but it's still pretty nice. They got longer wrenches. This is made with chrome vanadium steel, and this is made with chrome vanadium, but this is a 1% vanadium. And I guess if you know what the chrome vanadium is, I guess that's supposed to make it really stronger. I guess this is supposed to be twice as strong as the industry standard for strength, especially at the open end. So that's a good thing. That's the reason why they call it the Super Torque. So you can really put muscle into it, and it shouldn't give you any problems. There is a lifetime warranty on that tool, so that's kind of good. Lifetime warranty here. The problem I have with the warranty on this Cobalt, I ran into where I did break one of them one time, a long time ago, mind you. But they wanted me to bring the entire set back to warranty one wrench. It's like, what? So I just grabbed the wrench, the one that was broken, out of the new set, and took the new one out and said, here, just send that back then. I don't understand. It's weird. But these you can send back or I think it's you email them a picture and explanation of what happened, and then they, send you a new one, whatever. Let's take a look, see the jawline on this thing. There's the jawline. Do you see how the cobalt's a lot thicker there than the TOPTUL? But again, the TOPTUL is made with a different kind of steel, probably a little bit stronger steel, so I don't think that really matters. I think it's probably going to be pretty superior. The only thing I don't like about this, look at this. I don't know if you can see that or not. The camera's picking it up. There's a little, I don't know if that's the finishing right at the edge. It doesn't matter. It's not going to cause any performance problems, but I guess maybe, I don't know, maybe it's my eyes. I don't know. But anyway, good looking wrench. Smooth. I love the feel of it. The little slight I-beam in here is really nice. It's actually, it's a nice wrench. It really is. If I had to pick between these two, which one I'd rather have, I'd probably go with the TOPTUL, just because it looks better. It feels better in the hand. I like the angle of the head. So if you're angling down, you're working it, you flip it over, you work the other side, you can flip this side over. So there's a lot of different ways you can do it. The spline drive's good too, but I've had some problems with spline drives. I'm not a spline drive fan by any means, but I guess they're good. But if I had to pick between these two, I'd probably go with the TOPTUL. So let's take a look at another one. All right, TOPTUL against the Craftsman here. American made, forged here in the U.S. This is a 15 millimeter, so obviously it's going to be smaller. But I don't think the 17, I couldn't find it in my big old massive box there. But I'm pretty sure it's probably going to be about the same length. Let's just pretend like it is. And these have always been just really super good wrenches. I really can't complain about it. Let's take a look at the head there. They look about the same thickness. The 17 might be a little bit thicker, but they look about the same. This is not chrome vanadium. I don't know what steel this is made from, but it's definitely not chrome vanadium. It's probably something a little bit better. But the feel in the hand, I'll be honest with you, TOPTUL feels better in the hand. But, Craftsman is Craftsman. I mean, let's be honest with each other. It's just American made. It's awesome. One thing I will say that I don't care about is the boxed in wrench side. I'm not 100% convinced that this is what they would consider the flank drive, if you will, but it might be. But the smaller 13s, I have stripped a few fasteners out with the Craftsman. If I had to pick between these two, man, it's American made, so you sort of kind of have to go with Craftsman. Sorry. All right, let's take a look at this and compare this to the old school Matco. American made. Made in America. I believe these are made by Bonnie Tools back in the 80s and early 90s, before Bonnie Tools went out. Got the V-cut, which quite honestly, I'm not 100% convinced that the V-cut does anything. I think it was just for, the looks and marketing. Does not have any kind of flank drive on this at all. This is just right on the edges. I've used these back in the 80s. Never had a problem with them. I have stripped one off with the open mouth though before. So that's one thing. Let's take a look at the head. Let's see the thickness of it. It's about the same. Relatively the same. I don't think there's anything different there, major. About the same. Both of them are good wrenches, I think. This is a great wrench. I really haven't had any problems. I have stripped one, like I said, stripped one out with the open end. I think the open ends kind of open up a little bit, and then they strip and whatever. But I think that was on a 10 millimeter. I think. I don't remember. That was back in the 80s. But if I had to pick between these two, I would absolutely go with this TOPTUL, simply because I like the angle here, and I like the idea that it has that flank drive, for lack of a better term. I like the I-beam. I like the way it feels in the hand better. So I'm going to go with TOPTUL on this one. All right, let's take a look at the Tecton now. Tecton, honestly speaking, it's actually heavier. This is actually a heavier steel than this entire wrench. That's kind of weird. This is a heavier steel. It feels like a higher quality, I think. It's just, I don't know, it just feels like you grab a hold of this guy's not going to let go. This guy, man, he's a lightweight. He's a light, which I guess is good if you're using it a lot. So that's kind of cool. And it is, like I said, this is supposed to be double the strength of standard. So it's supposed to be super strong. I think it's got more vanadium in it than the other ones do. This does have the flank drive on the Tecton as well as this. The open end, I never had a problem with the open end. I can't say anything about the TOPTUL because I haven't used it. But aesthetically, I think if this had the chrome of this one, I would absolutely pick this one. But if somebody said you have to pick between these two, which one would you pick? I would probably go with Tecton. It just feels like a heavier, stronger tool, but that doesn't mean anything, right? It really doesn't. But this is just, it's a good looking wrench, and I love the way it bevels down like that. I love the I-beam. It feels good here, but just by shaving a little bit of points there, I'd probably still have to go with the Tecton. All right, cool. All right, let's go to Mac. Wow, these guys look identical. Not really, but I think when I talked to the guys in Taiwan in regards to TOPTUL, they did say that they do make, from what I understand, and there was a bit of a barrier between our languages there, but if I got it correctly, I think he said there's a company that Matco uses, and then those guys have TOPTUL make their wrenches, then they sell it back to that guy, and then those guys sell it to Matco. That's my understanding. I could be completely off. We had a language barrier there, but these look a lot like the Mac. Maybe he meant Mac. I don't know. And they look like each other a little bit. They could just be style. It could just be that that's the style that they have in Europe area, and this is what they wanted. This is what they're going to, and everybody's kind of going to it. It could just be that, but they do have a lot of similarities. The I-beam, the angle of the head, all that good stuff. Wow. This is a little heavier metal. You can feel the heavier. That's probably because of the ratcheting side, but let's take a look at the open end, see how thick this is. Oops. Hello. There we go. Again, looks about the same. What do you guys think? Looks about the same. I don't know. I think if this was a ratcheting wrench, I'd probably go with TOPTUL on this one. I'll be honest with you. It's lighter weight because it's supposed to have more vanadium in it, so that they don't have to put so much metal in it, I guess, to make it stronger. And I don't know what kind of metal they're making for this, but this is I think if it was for the ratcheting part, that's what's messing me up, is the ratcheting part. That's what's making it heavier. Man, that is a toss-up. I will say one thing. For the Mac, it does have the non-slip, which nobody else has, not even TOPTUL. I think if the TOPTUL had the non-slip on this one, I would, yeah, you know what, that's what's going to be. If TOPTUL had the non-slip, like Mac has, I would absolutely jump all over TOPTUL over the Mac. But if I was using these tools, hey, give me a 17 millimeter wrench, I got to put an open end and I got to put some heavy torque on it, I would probably go for this one simply because of the non-slip. But other than that, I think I would probably pick TOPTUL. So that's kind of a toss-up. Either or, you know, either or. I like them both. I think I would probably go with the Mac though if I had to. Cool. So for the wrench, yeah, you know what? For the price of these wrenches, I think it's kind of hard to say what they cost. The problem we have is in order to get these, you have to buy them on eBay through a European dealer for the most part. And then you're going to pay $20 for this. And then you're going to pay another $40 or $50 to ship it. Something it gets crazy. And at that point, if you're paying $70 or $80 for this wrench, you're probably going to want to buy a snap-on or something like that. But again, the lifetime warranty, I don't know how great the warranty is. Who knows? Sometimes they want you to send a tool back, and at that point, it's not worth it. But if they had dealers down here in the United States, I would absolutely buy these. These are actually kind of nice. So if you can find them cheaper, buy them. I think they're good. They're a little short, but you know, if they're double the standard, the strength of what they claim, the open it is double standard, you shouldn't strip anything, theoretically. Let's take a look at the socket. Oh, bear with me, guys. I'm trying to find the sockets. They're somewhere in here. All right, so we're going to do a halfway comparison here. This is going to be compared from the TOPTUL. We're going to compare it with the Tekton. Some of the other differences between these two is this is a 3/8 and that's a 1/2 inch. However, the styles are the same. Even if you had the 3/8, it's still going to be a fully shanked socket for the Tekton, and it's going to be that short shanked or cut, whatever you want to call it, for the TOPTUL. Let's take a look. So as you can tell, this is the Tekton, and oh my God, this guy's had some work done. I beat the snot out of this thing on a daily basis. Excuse me. I used it to take locks off of cars. I used it as just about everything. Beat the crap out of it, and the damn thing keeps going. It is just a stout socket. It's 1/2 inch, so it's hard to compare it. I can't find my 3/8, but that's because I've been lazy. I haven't put my tools up. But anyway, great socket. I can't say enough good things about Tekton. They're just phenomenal. But to sell Tekton as a tool truck, which is what I was trying to do, it's impossible. It's impossible because you have to buy it at full retail, and then for me to sell it to somebody else, if I choose to do that, I would have to charge almost 35 to 40% over retail to sell it on the tool truck, and it's just not. I would feel really bad about selling somebody a socket that normally would cost them $8 or $9 and turn around and sell it for 15 to 20. That's just not fair. So Tekton is just not going to be in my wheelhouse when I decide to open up the tool truck. But I'm telling you, if you're a professional mechanic, you cannot go wrong with Tekton. They're just phenomenal tools. It's still good. It's ugly, but it's good. Let's take a look at TOPTUL. All right, so here's TOPTUL. There's the part number. And it's got the flank drive, just like everybody else, 6-point. It's solid. I mean, it's about like Tekton. This is a 3/8. This is a 3/8 deep compared to a 3/8 1/2 inch. So there is a little bit of a difference there, but I imagine if I could find my other deep, the 3/8 is almost identical to this. It's just got the 3/8 drive on it. It's the same socket and a little bit shorter. So it'd be about the same length. Okay, so let's keep that in mind. Chrome molybdenum metal, so it's softer and stronger at the same time than like chrome vanadium or something like that. I do like the aesthetics of it, but I don't know what the strength measure is on this, because the way they cut it and the way it is here, will this last if you put on an impact and you impact the crap out of it for like lug nuts? You know, use it on the 3/8. I bought specifically this 3/8 because I am going to be sending it to my previous dealer that I was working at, some friends of mine, and I'm going to tell them to just destroy this socket. Use it for every lug nut with a 22 millimeter lug nuts on there, and just put it to its test and see if they can get this thing to break or something, and see how good it is. Because I'd love to sell these sockets on my truck. If you know, they're inexpensive, they're strong, they're lifetime warranty, they look great. So, and their 1/2 inch is identical to this. It's about this long, but it has the cut down here like that as well, like right here. So they look identical. But we're going to put this to the paces. We're going to see if this actually is as good as it looks. Because sometimes, you know, things may look super good, but then they suck. Or they may not be so good looking, but boy, they sure are loyal. Yeah, I'm talking about something different. Anyway, good sockets. Super good looking socket. But we're going to put it to the test. TOPTUL. I really hope that these are as good as I think they are, or hope they are, because I would love to sell this on my tool truck. I would love to sell TOPTUL. The thing about TOPTUL that I was told by another dealer, TOPTUL makes their own sockets, wrenches, and extensions. They make them in-house. They make them for other tool companies such as I'm assuming they meant Matco, or maybe they meant Mac. I don't know. So they do make those, but everything else they have, you know, is rebranded. But anyway, the next video hopefully will be of this thing used and abused, and we'll get people's feedback, the mechanics' feedback of what they thought of TOPTUL and if they would actually buy it. All right, guys, thumbs up, subscribe, please. Try to get everything going here, and I'll have a secondary channel for my tool company when the tool company is up and running. I'll see you guys later. TOPTUL.